Um, Namaskar. I welcome all of you to this final event in a month-long celebration that MSSI Mumbai chapter did for the Indian MS Day 2021. Now, it gives me it's an honor, in fact, to introduce Mrs. Sheila Chitnis. She is, that is officially introduced Mrs. Sheila Chitnis, or Sheila Tai as we call her, because most of you know her personally. And she has interacted with a lot of people, MSPs and caregivers, and all the MSSI chapter heads, and all the people working there. So this is an official introduction. Mrs. Sheila Chitnis is a postgraduate from Bombay University and was not actually, could not pursue a career because very unexpectedly, her husband, Mukund Chitnis, suffered from what was then a very rare disease and a debilitating one, and that was multiple sclerosis. Because in 1960s and 1970s, even the medical fraternity had not heard of multiple sclerosis, and it was considered very rare. Sheila Kai actually had underwent a lot of hardships looking after Mr. Mukund Chitnis, and seeing these hardships, his neurologist, the late N.H. Wadia, actually called Sheila and told her and introduced her to some social workers, great social workers really, and told her to start a support group. And that's how MSSI was born in 1985. Now, Sheila has since then been the National Secretary from 1993 to 2009 of the Multiple Sclerosis Society of India. And the support that she has given MSPs and their family members is phenomenal. Now, in Mumbai, home physiotherapy was actually the flagship service of MSSI then. And since then, we've had, and that was started by Sheila in 1996. Since then, we've had about 70 or, we, every time on our list, we keep having at least 70 graduate therapists. And these therapists visit around about 100 MSPs every month and, providing free or highly subsidized home physiotherapy. Sheila Tai also introduced a free annual medical checkup camps since 1998, and this she insisted that the camps were to be done with multi specialities involved and all under one roof, so that the MSPs were not inconvenienced. Her work in India was actually awarded by the Multiple Sclerosis International Federation, and she was asked, in fact, she was asked to conduct a workshop in fundraising at Barcelona, Spain, 2015. During this 36, great, I would say, years of her tenure in MSSI, in the management, she has actually held various posts, right from honorary secretary up to the national vice president's post. And she continues to be as enthusiastic and as caring as she was when she started off this venture. She's represented India as in the MS International Federation of CO Committee, and she's been on the platforms both national and internationally talking about the awareness of MS. Sheila, with this very short introduction, so much that you actually done for MSSI, I would, and for MSPs, I would now like you to take the whole program forward. Sheila.
Thank you, Dr. Rekha, for all this introduction. Actually, this is my 35 years journey, and once the mic is with me, I just don't want to leave, and then going on and on and on. And I have to be very strictly now to the point. So I thought better write down instead of talking. Once I start talking, I can't stop. And then that is why this is, I think better I read only. So short. And mostly what I was going to say, Rekha, Dr. Rekha, you already said that. But still, what I have written, I am going to read. So, Multiple Sclerosis Society of India, that is MSSI, was established in 1985 with my husband Mukund Chitnis as first MS patient, and then along with Mukund, two other MS patients joined. At that time, no one knew about multiple sclerosis, that is MS. Even many doctors, except neurologists, were completely unaware about prevalence of MS in India, and which was considered rare disease that time in India. Hence, our first priority was to create awareness on all available platforms, starting with writing articles about MS in newspapers, because that time internet was not so I mean, we did not know about computers and internet. So in newspapers we started. Then we organized talks in colleges, offices, Rotary Lion clubs, railway stations, hospitals, etc. Wherever we got opportunity, we always organized talks so that more and more people are aware. Because even though so many times we were talking, again, if you go to next place, people really did not know. But I think after these 30 years, 35 years of continuous uh, awareness campaigns, I think now many people have started knowing about MS. And by the way, new diagnostic methods have also come. So that people are more aware, more cases are coming into light, and the whatever patients used to suffer at that time, it is not now so much, because new drugs have come, new therapies have come. So management is easier now, not so much problems what I faced. And that is why MSSI is so dear to me. It's so close to my heart that I wanted my whole life I'm doing only this. My family says, what is this? All the time MSSI, 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 but I just cannot leave MSSI and cannot do anything else. This is the problem. Anyway, hence then these awareness were there. Then for the groups of even general physicians were not aware of this. So we started with help of from neurologists, family doctors were also, we took sessions for them. And because first patients always approach to GP, so they should have known. Initially, they never knew about MS. So maybe they had learned, but they did not know the prevalence. So it was very important that I mean, this is the start. Then largest platform was through annual MS Walks, which was first introduced in Mumbai in 2002. Well-known neurologists were invited to inform about MS to the audience, and also the information about MSSI was given. These MS walks are now regular feature of all MSSI chapters along with Mumbai, as Mumbai is MSSI's head office as well as Mumbai chapter, and the chapters are at Bangalore, Chennai, Delhi, Hyderabad, Indore, Kolkata and Pune. Everywhere these activities are replicated. Side by side, we started providing welfare services to the registered MS patients. Newly diagnosed patients who are mostly young persons and family members, when they come to MSSI office for counseling, they are so confused, upset, even depressed, asking us that why everybody always says, why me? Why happened to me? What is going to be my career? Whether it is life threatening, all so many questions. You know, actually, doctors are so busy. We can't say that doctors are so many patients in general hospitals and any other hospital. So they do not have much time to explain everything about MS. So this is our important role of counseling initial counseling, which is very important, to tell them, to assure them that it is, though it is not going to go, it is unwanted guest, it is going to stay, but you have to accept it positively and then manage. So management, we are teaching them, we are guiding them, we are giving them tips. So this is what counseling is, completely repeated process, because anytime anyone can contact us from anywhere. In 1997, we introduced free annual medical camp. Here, patients get, as Rekha already has told you, that full checkup under one roof. In fact, she is the dean of Sushrusha Hospital, where now we are having this facility annually. So it is very, thank you, Rekha, because this was very necessary. So now we know this is the hospital. So it is easier for us. And under one roof, all the specialties come, and so people get to know the interaction with these famous doctors, and naturally they avoid their fatigue, mobility problems under one roof. So medical camp is very important, and I think all chapters are also doing this medical camp. We also organize a variety of medical seminars, workshops, and which are also about many different social issues like marriage in MS, whether children are, I mean, whether there should be children, how, so many other issues also, some interesting, some entertaining issues also. So, and these are sometimes suggested by patients. And not only medical help, but we care for the recreation, entertainment by having Diwali functions, get-togethers, picnics, outings. And one of the novel project in Mumbai is Mera Sapna, fulfilling small wishes of MS persons by taking them to temples. See, so simple wishes. Sometimes caregivers or family members do not have time. They have got their so many other work. So then they, MSSI takes with volunteers, we are doing, fulfilling these wishes. Sometimes we take them to meet their favorite celebrities, then sometimes cinema, social, any temples, Mumbai to Siddhi Vinayak temple, Mahalakshmi temple, those there also we take whatever is their wish. So it is simple things, very easy to fulfill, not very big thing, whatever are funds are necessary, we cannot do that. Then these are, and the most, like, I mean, everybody likes to go to Shirdi. So I think every year, last 5-6 years, we are continuously taking them to Shirdi. Since last pandemic, this Shirdi trip is stopped. Otherwise, everybody wants to go to Shirdi Sai Baba Mandir. So that also comes under Mera Sapna. Then there are other important activities, economic rehabilitation. We start with providing educational aid to children of MSPs and young MS persons. And this is also, I mean, beginning. And then if they are sometimes homebound or lose jobs, so we try to explain to their employers, if these people allow us. Sometimes they don't allow, they just carry on without telling that they are MS, and ultimately nobody understands them, and then they lose job. So or sometimes it is difficult for them and they become homebound also. So we try to rehabilitate them as per their needs and ability. Now onwards, we are going to take it as a most important activity. We will start, once this pandemic gets over, we may start with some skill teaching workshops, all the, let us, I mean, they are on the end. Then sometimes we have to provide laptops, sewing machines, any other machinery, whatever material they want. Some people want art material. So whatever they want, we provide them free of charge, all these materials. And some help with limited interest-free loans also for small scale growth jo घर से करने वाले. So in this small scale industries for patients as well as for their spouses. Then comes the physical rehabilitation, for which we provide free of charge all kinds of mobility aids like walkers, wheelchairs, canes, crutches, all everything. And sometimes air water beds, incontinent products, everything is freely supplied by MSSI whenever they ask for it. And since 1997, most important project which Rekha has already told you is to provide physio-occupational therapy at homes of patients. We appoint large number of therapists who can visit 1 or 2 MS patients and provide 1 hour session thrice a week. This is nearly free for many patients and highly subsidized for others. Our maximum funds are utilized for this most beneficial project. Now, I think I should talk about MSSI, and I know people are really interested in listening to Dashpreet. So I will introduce Dr. Dashpreet Kaur, for whom you all are eagerly waiting. I have known Dashpreet for a long time. She is not only highly intelligent and talented, but also a very good human being, which I really like, Dashpreet. She has already conducted 2 free workshops for Mumbai patients and therapists, and also had conducted sessions at other MSSI chapters. She has been continuously uploading videos of physiotherapy exercises on her YouTube channel, which are very, very useful for everyone. Now, proper introduction. Dr. Dashpreet Kaur is a gold medalist both in bachelor's and master's in physiotherapy with additional fellowship in neurological rehabilitation. She is the first physiotherapist worldwide to be awarded prestigious Dupre Grant twice by Multiple Sclerosis International Federation of UK, and also trained in cognitive rehabilitation from France. She is first Indian physiotherapist to undertake a satellite symposium for MS patients at 6th Pan-Asian Committee at Kyoto, Japan. She has presented her research works in many national and international conferences and got many travel grants from everywhere to conduct her special classes there. Dr. Dashpreet owns Bihar's first state-of-art Pilates-based rehabilitation unit in Patna. By attending these online classes, you will be certainly benefited. And so over to Dashpreet, the main person.
Thank you, ma'am, for your kind words. And okay, I'll quickly just shift on to my slides. Let me start. All right. So I hope my slides are visible to all.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So at the onset, I would like to thank each one of you who's here. I know if you meet Sheila ma'am once in your life, she's addictive. That's the right word what I use for her. Once you meet her, you cannot sleep without thinking about MS patients. You cannot do your work without thinking about MS patients. And if you happen to do so, she'll pull you back from your regular practice and she'll be like, what happened to my MS patients? Why are you not working for them? So that's the beauty of Sheila ma'am, and that's the beauty of being associated with such lovely organization, Multiple Sclerosis Society of India. And in fact, a lot of things what she has told about my career ever since 2008, apart from the regular physiotherapy thing, I have been, I would say, pushed by her initially, and now I enjoy being on this different path where we take a lot of care or we think a lot about MS patients. And I'm really lucky or blessed, I would say, that I got a lot of good opportunity to interact with the stalwarts in the field of neurology who've been working for MS patients, especially Professor Peter Faes, Lucine, who are based in Belgium, and Professor Bruno Brochet and Delphine, who are based in Bordeaux, France. So if we talk about multiple sclerosis, I won't talk much in details because I know all of you who are here, you may be MS patients, the caregiver of MS, or the rehabilitation experts, or even if you are a general public, definitely you are here to understand about this disease, which is quite invisible and it impacts differently to a lot of people. So it is a disabling disease of brain and spinal cord. And signs or symptoms of MS, they vary largely, and it actually depends on the amount of nerve damage and which nerves have been affected. So last year we had a lot of awareness programs about invisible symptoms in MS. So I would say that it's quite surprising, even if you go through Sheila ma'am's history, like she also kept ignoring symptoms of her husband, because most of these symptoms, the patient is suffering from it, and unfortunately we are not able to realize that they are suffering from it. So if I talk about rehabilitation, is basically it is a problem solving process, and which is aimed at reducing the disability and the handicap, and it is fundamental for preventing complications. So if you say like, I have an MS, can I do without rehabilitation program? Can I do without physical therapy or occupational therapy or speech therapy? My answer is big no. We aim to make you live well for longer. That is basically mantra. How many years you have in your life, it is the quality of life should be really good for you all. Okay, coming on to online classes, that is the new norm now ever since this COVID-19 has hit us all. So basically, online education is nothing but electronically supported learning system which relies on internet for our interaction and distribution of class material. So this my specific talk, it's about our online program, like how we are going to take it up. So one of the main requisites for enrolling in these classes is you should have a stable internet connection. Okay, now there are a couple of questions. I know when we started circulating the flyers for this particular meeting, there must have been lot of concerns. Okay, what are we exactly going to do? What are the aims of these classes? So I have just put up these things in a form of question and answer, and I hope that's going to take care of a lot of your queries. And even if you have anything left over, you can always send us in the chat box or you can email them to us. So we are starting these online classes because in the past 1 year, we realized that a lot of our patients, they missed their therapy sessions, and even it was 1920 has passed, and even in 2021, the fear or the danger of COVID is still hovering around. So we actually do not know when the thing's going to be normal. So now the online pattern of learning is the new normal. So we are trying to adapt that pattern so that in none of the case, our patients are left out without therapy. And if I go for like rehabilitation in MS, RIMS is one of the very big organization which have all the rehabilitation personnel who exchange their thoughts, their experiences, their research papers. So if I go by their latest recommendation, they say that delivery of the service must be of high quality, as accessible as possible. It should be continuously adapted to the needs of the person. It should be flexible. It should be timely. It should be evidence and experience based. So in short, if I say when I started designing these online classes, when I started working with my Belgian group, when I started thinking about what next, how can we really help these patients, these were the basic points which I had borne in mind, like how to go about the whole thing so that we are able to deliver a very uniform service to all our patients pan India. So the aim of these classes in particular would be to improve your balance and your walking abilities. All right. Now, this is a tricky question. Can all MS patients participate in these classes? As of now, I'm not saying anything to disappoint anyone. As of now, can I put everyone under one umbrella? I would say that will be not correct. Only MS patients satisfying the specific eligibility criteria for this first phase of online classes will be enrolled in. This does not mean those who do not satisfy our eligibility criteria, we are not going to do anything about them. Not at all. This is just a beginning and this is just the phase one. So what is the eligibility criteria? Why we have put the eligibility criteria? Because see, to be very frank, I'm not a big advocate of online therapy because one-to-one physical interaction with the patients is something which is really important and which helps us to understand the situation much better and much precisely. But considering the prevailing conditions, we somehow have to modify certain things, and we have to be cautious at the same time not to pose any risk to the people who for whom this therapy is not made. So that's why we have put an eligibility criteria, which is based on a lot of research papers that I have gone through in past 1 year, why this therapy can be given to this category of people, why they cannot be enrolled. So considering all ifs and buts, we have narrowed down our inclusion criteria. So we all have to remember one size just does not fit all. See, the therapy that I'm going to talk about, the therapy which I am going to take forward, we are working very specifically to bring about a change in your physical condition. So for phase one, it is imperative for us to be very selective so that we are able to bring about the results. Okay. I just cannot take each one of you and start giving you therapy without considering your background situation, I would say. Okay. And now, who are eligible for these classes? Those who have their expanded disability range from 1 to 6.5, age 18 to 65 years, and most importantly, those who are able to walk for 6 minutes. Able to walk for 6 minutes means even if you use your walker, you use your cane, not the wheelchair, but if you are able to put your feet on the ground and walk for 6 minutes, you are in for my class. And yes, most importantly, a stable internet connection. So what is EDSS? If you see very closely, normal neurological examination, no disability, minimal disability, moderate disability. So we are going to go till 6.5, assistance required to walk. All right. Once you are bound to wheelchair, it will be very difficult to enroll you in the first phase. I would re-emphasize again, in the first phase. We are not leaving you. We are just being very selective in the phase one so that we are able to come out with maybe something better for the other people who have been left in phase one. Okay. So who are not eligible, even if you're able to walk for 6 minutes, then also we have to see you should not be having severe cognitive impairments, no pregnancy, or it should be more than 6 months after you have delivered. You should not have any acute exacerbation of your MS attack, or people, if you are saying you have any other neurological condition which might interfere with your attending these classes, which affect your walking pattern, then also you are not eligible. But this criteria we will screen for you. If you are able to walk, just contact us. We will take care of rest of the things. Okay, now another question. How will these classes be? What will be the focus of the therapy session? Pilates. That is one of my favorite subjects. In 2011, in fact, I got an opportunity to launch my book on Pilates in rehabilitation in Mumbai. So my focus would be on core stabilization. And if you ask me why core stabilization, I simply say the evidence says so. Okay, so this whole program, it is not something which just came into my mind or which I have been practicing over years and now I am just applying it over to you. That is called practice-based evidence. No, as of now, I still feel practicing evidence-based is much better. The things which have already been studied on larger population, which has shown its effect, it's the time that we should start delivering those therapies to you all the therapists who are here, who are listening to me, I would request them, like in the case of multiple sclerosis, let us just try using all the therapies which have been already proven. Maybe we'll be able to add better quality in our patient's life. So Pilates has received much attention in recent time as a prerequisite for optimal balance control and influencing walking along with your cognition, physical performance, and in posture parameters. So if you go through the literature, there are a lot of good studies, lot of good analysis, which says Pilates is quite effective for certain category of MS patients. I'm reinforcing this word, certain categories, the eligibility criteria, because I want to bring about a change. I want all the therapists to work together in one direction, bring about positive changes in our patients, and then All those who have left, we rework on them, find out good therapies for them and apply it on. So if I talk about core stabilization and Pilates, it's very important for all of you to understand what are the core muscles. So in one of my introductory videos, I had introduced you to my friend Skelly, right? So if I talk about core muscles, it's the muscles right under your liver, lungs. So that makes your diaphragm, and then entire of your pelvic floor that supports all your abdominal content, then your abdomen, then your back muscles, along with all the bony structure, the ligaments, joints, and everything. So that is the core area, the central area of my body. Okay.
Dr. Darshpreet, would you like to stop your share and show it on a larger screen?
Oh, no, that's okay. I have slides. So I just wanted to introduce Kelly. He's also around. Okay.
Right.
Thank you. So now imagine our body to be like a ship. Okay. The base of it is like the pelvic area, the pelvis area. All right. So let me put a body on it. Okay. Now I think it's much easier for all of you to interpret. So just imagine our body. This is the core area, the central area of our body. And we have the diaphragm, we have the abdominals, we have the pelvic floor muscles, we have our spine area, and all right, sorry, I'll go back to this. So have you just understood which area we are going to concentrate on? This entire big region. This plays a very, very, very important role in giving me a good balance, giving me a good stability, and giving me a good walking pattern. Okay, so how do they provide this? Whatever I'm saying. See, the core muscles, they interact with our ligaments, bones, and the neural control. See, we can never take the head office out. The brain and the spinal cord, they always play a very, very important role in proper management of these things and providing us with a stable system. So if I talk about passive stabilization, that is being provided by bones and ligaments. जो हमारी हड्डियां हैं और उनको जो जोड़ रहे हैं ligaments, वो अपनी जगह पे पड़े हुए हैं, right? Then what happens? My muscles come into action to provide it active stability. अगर मेरे muscles strong होंगे, then only they'll be able to contract well, they'll be able to balance out the forces, and I'll be able to handle my body postures properly. And if my body posture is proper, then only I'll be able to do my work with minimum expenditure of energy. Right? All the MS patients who are listening to me, fatigue is a very, very big problem. We cannot make you exercise beyond a certain extent. We have to take care of your temperatures also. We have to take care of your physical condition also. We have to take care of your body weight also. So considering all these points together, this core stabilization is one format of exercising which will be able to, not overheat you, which will be enjoyable for you, and it will make this active stabilizing structure more stronger for all of you. Okay, so when this structure works well, I have a good contractions. Now look at this. This is a very, very important function of our core muscles, which we actually don't realize. Can you see the diaphragm? The diaphragm moving up and down. When it goes up, I exhale the air out, and when it goes down, it inhales the air. So if I correlate it to the body system, look at this. The diaphragm going in, and simultaneously it is applying a downward pressure on our pelvic floor. Then it's going up at the time of exhalation. See, this is a very coordinated process which happens all the time in our body. So that itself is one of the core activity of our body. Okay, so a very simple example to realize what happens to core muscle is, during pregnancy, what happens? Our muscles get overtly stretched to accommodate the growing fetus. So if you see, as the fetus keep growing, it starts pushing over the diaphragm also and the pelvic floor also, which makes a mother susceptible to a lot of incontinence issues, pelvic organ prolapse, and pain. So similarly, as I told you previously, when I talk about core stabilization, it is not just the ligaments part. It is not just the muscular part, it is always also the neural control. So what happens in MS when I have a problem in my brain and spinal cord, this neural control weakens. As a result, this coordinated movement, the synchrony tends to reduce. So if we go into any kind of core stabilization process, we are able to get back the synchrony. Is that clear? Why am I aiming on the core stabilization methodology? Okay, so now coming back to our classes, the duration of the class would be about 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and the frequency would be 3 classes per week for 6 weeks. That means just 1.5 months I need of your time to see how well this therapy helps you out. And what will happen in these classes? You've understood that I'm going to focus on your core area. So we are going to follow the protocol suggested by Ian Jeffries. So the exercise program will consist of, first you will learn how to contract your core. Then you will learn how to hold your core muscles, how to hold your transverse abdominis and your pelvic floor muscles, and slowly keep moving your limbs. And then I will make the surface on which you are lying a bit unstable, and then we will ask you to hold the movement. And then we will make the surface also mobile, and we'll add certain resistance. So that is how the progression is going to take place. All the MS patients, don't think I cannot do it. Dare any of you say now, ki, this sounds difficult. This is just not difficult. All right. So in week 1, as I said, it will be a 6-week program. You will learn how to hold the abdominal muscle. पेट नहीं खींचना है, सांस नहीं रोकनी है. You have to find out how to contract your abdominal muscles nicely to get a neutral spine, normal corrective spine. I'm not talking about flat spine. जो आप लोग अक्सर घुटने मोड़ते हैं, सीधा spine को flat कर दिया and you are done. No, we are going to find the neutral spine and we will learn how to hold on to our abdominal muscles. Are you interested to see what will happen actually? Yeah? Okay, let me show you. That's your week 1. You will learn how to hold on to your abdominal. That's day 2 in week 1. That's your day 3. All right, so that'll be your classwork for week 1. As we move to week 2, as I told you, that will be static isometric contraction. When I say isometric contraction, the muscle length is not going to change. All right, you're going to keep holding on to your abdominal muscle and you will keep moving your limbs. Let's see what all you'll be doing. Hold your abdominal muscle and keep moving your limb. Day 2. Hold on to your abdominal muscle, contract them, and then keep moving your limbs simultaneously. Day 3, catch hold of anyone in your family and get your crunches going. All right, it looks quite easy. Yes, believe me when I say, because when we are going to work together, everything is going to fall in place. Okay. So moving on to next one, that will be for your week 4. So as I said, week 3, we are going to go for static isometric contraction on an unbalanced surface. So once you have done week 1 and week 2, it's the right time that we change the surface. Hold on to your abdomen muscle and keep moving your limb. All right, that will be your week 3. Going on to week 4, body movement on a static surface. This is a repeat of previous exercise. You'll be applying more force. We'll increase the force this time. These are lunges for more stability. We'll keep challenging our core, abdominals contracted, and we'll keep changing the direction. And then I need a good squat and your upper body moving, abdominals absolutely contracted within the hold. All right, so we are halfway through our classes, more than halfway. All right, week 5, body movement on an unbalanced surface. Let's see. Hold your abdomen tight and keep moving on the ball. Breathing is really very important when you do any kind of core stabilization. Okay, moving on to our last week, that will be resisted dynamic movement in an unstable environment. See, you have to press against the ball with your hand and with your leg, holding your abdominal strong. Walk through on the ball and sit back. Now, since we've got a good control, it's time to add resistance, and voila, we are done. All right. So, are you excited to be part of this program? Come on, send me your replies in the chat box. I want to hear huge yes from all of you. I want to see the energy which I have. I want you also to reciprocate the same amount of energy that yes, we are going to do something for our bodies. Come on, fill my chat box, fill my chat box. All right, now there are certain rules to master these exercises. As I said, now you've understood the core area of your body. Now it is important to understand how these exercises are done. it is very important that we concentrate on each and every movement. It is not just about you've lied down, you've just contracted your abdomen, you just hold your breath and you are going about it. No, you have to concentrate on each and every movement, how each and every muscles you are recruiting, how you are controlling them, how you are localizing your force, you are centralizing your force towards the abdominal area, and how smoothly there is a lift, how smoothly there is a flow of the movement, and how precisely you are doing it. So these are certain key principles. And I would say, like, mental imagery is one of the prime most thing. Why I have shown you these videos, I have shown you to prime your brain to what is going to happen in these classes. There's no point putting surprises, because what happens that all of us talk most about physical fatigue, but there is an entity that's called cognitive fatigue also. So if you don't know what is going to happen, your mind is going to think about it. क्या होगा उसमें, कैसे करेंगे हम, ये कर पाएंगे नहीं कर पाएंगे. So the purpose of showing you the exercise, what is going to happen in the classes, is to prime your mind. This is the direction we are going to follow. This is the way we are going to scale up. These are the things which are required out of you. So that is very important. Mental imagery, imagining the exercises without performing it, actually activates your brain cell and improves your performance. And this is all evidence-based. All right. And another very, very important concept is no valsalva. While you are doing any kind of Pilates or core stabilization, सांस नहीं रोकना है, जिसे हम कहते हैं ना दम नहीं निकालना है. I know, unfortunately, most of our MS patients, they suffer from constipation. So, you have to apply a lot of pressure in your abdominal area for evacuation. So, similarly for exercise, कई बार क्या होता है, just to do the exercise, we tend to hold our breath, और जिसे हम कहते हैं दम लगाना. So, no Valsalva during any of these exercises. And what equipments are required? You need a yoga mat, या घर पे कोई दरी होगी, any a little cushioned surface, I would say, gym ball that we would be recommending you according to your weight and height, that would be suggested by us, 5 kg resistive disc or a sandbag or a dumbbell or any weight for doing your crunches, then a TheraBand, TheraTube, or a regular elastic that you get from a tailor's shop, and tape for your floor marking. That's it. That is what I need for your 6 weeks exercise program. And how do you enroll for these classes? Number one, you're going to walk for 6 minutes at your home. If you can do it, congratulations, you are eligible. Send me an email at drdpcore@gmail.com. I repeat, drdpcore@gmail.com, and kindly CC it to mssimumbai@gmail.com. All right. So we are going to send you a Google form in which there'll be a couple of questions through which we are going to try to understand you better. Once we are done with that, we will fix a mutual convenient time for the classes, and then we are ready, all set for the classes. And how will I be guided what to do in therapy session? So to understand how the things will keep going forward, first of all, I'm going to make use of Zoom platform, where just like now, we'll have one-to-one interaction. And then you are expected to have your caregiver or your therapist around at the time of therapy. Because what happens, core stabilization is a very, I wouldn't say a complex thing, but it requires a lot of concentration and understanding. And in initial 1 week, I would say that would be fantastic if you have your therapist around or the caregiver who can understand the things better and can explain it to you there. I would also be there live on the Zoom platform. I'll be watching you performing these exercises. The video would be running side by side. Each and every step would be broken down. How you have to sit on the bed, how you have to lie down, how you have to get up from the sideline position only, how you have to feel your muscle, how to regulate your breath. Each and everything would be told to you. It will be just like, if you have small children at home, how your teachers are teaching your LKG or UKG children. It's going to be step by step by step. I don't want any of you to miss our physical presence. Okay, and each step, don't worry, it will be demonstrated multiple times to ensure that you have understood it. And a day before our classes, we'll be sending you the short video so that you can practice mental imagery. Just keep seeing the exercise, what are we trying to do and how it is being done. Just see, don't perform. Next day when we are going to come live, then we are going to go do it together. Okay. So yes, this is another important question. What if I miss my class? All right. I know if you have your children going to the school, missing classes is not acceptable. So the level of success you achieve will be in direct proportion to the depth of your commitment. But yes, we do realize there can be emergency situations. So for that, you can contact me and WhatsApp me. I'll be sharing a number once you're enrolled for the classes. But please, no good morning messages. We'll keep it very professional, and then we will reschedule your classes. Okay. So we will go about that way. Another question. Are these classes really free? I know Sheila ma'am has told everyone these classes are absolutely free of cost. But we all know nothing comes free of cost. I'm committed to dedicate so much of my time to you all. So obviously I would be expecting something in return. So what I want is your 100% dedication and sincerity. It has taken me a really, really long time to go through the literature. My team had been working a lot. We had been contacting a lot of stalwarts in rehabilitation abroad just to learn what is latest, what best we can give it to our patients. So I want your 100% dedication and sincerity in this program. It's just 1.5 months I'm asking for. Remember, strong walls shake but never collapse. So make your walls strong, make your core really strong. Now on, switch on your focus mode, switch on your motivation and dedication, and please no excuses. Please no excuses. Thank you so much for listening. It was a pleasure. And you can always email me or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel at Bihar Neuro. And we hope together we can all work together to bring about a change. And my special note to all the people who are not directly associated with MS patient, I would say through this deliverance, you've come to know a lot about multiple sclerosis. This was an initiative by MSSI Mumbai, and I would say whole Multiple Sclerosis Society of India per se, to make people aware of this invisible disease. So I request you all, if you have any person known to you who is suffering from multiple sclerosis, please tell them about this society. Please tell them there have been people who are working for this for more than 35 years. We want to bring about a change. We want the disability to be reduced into their beautiful abilities, and we are all there. Thank you so much, one and all.
Thank you, Dashpreet. There are some questions, so if you could take those. One is that quite a few of our MSPs, they have relapses, So they wanted to know if they have frequent relapses, would they still be a part of your physiotherapy sessions?
If they had a relapse within 2 weeks, 2 weeks before starting their classes, I would not advise these therapy sessions for them.
Okay. And the therapists want to know whether they could actually attend your classes, not as a support of their of the MSPs, but as individual members of your class.
Okay, so therapist, you can just mail me in. We'll catch hold of Sheila ma'am again, and let's have a webinar. Let's have a webinar. What all you can do for MS patients, because I think if you want to learn, please do not learn on a specific eligibility criteria. We are like small nucleus spread out in the entire country. I guess we are more than 1 lakh rehabilitation specialists in the country. So let's learn about complete MS. What happens in RRMS? What happens when it becomes progressive? What happens if the patient is wheelchair bound? So let's have a webinar. And Sheila ma'am smile is saying she'll catch hold of all of us again.
Yes.
Yeah. Lakshmi, a lot of people are naturally, watching those, your video sort of does give you a bit of a thinking, can I do it? So a lot of people say, I can't move my legs, or, my balance is not there, I can't walk. So are they eligible candidates for your classes?
Okay, so we have these 3 conditions being put forth me. I would say if there is just a balance problem, but you can walk. See, I told you this is phase 1. Even if you have a balance problem, by holding a stick or a walker, आप 6 मिनट किसी तरह चल के दिखा दो. It doesn't matter कि आपने कितना move किया है. आप थोड़े से एरिया में बस 6 मिनट चलते रहो, तो मेरी क्लासेस के लिए आप लोग एलिजिबल हो. In phase 1, we will make our phases very flexible depending on the condition, because we need to understand you closely to customize the therapy. But as of now, आपको 6 मिनट चल के देखना पड़ेगा आप चल पा रहे हैं कि नहीं. ठीक है? So that is the limitation right now in the phase 1.
Dashpreet, I saw you, showing us the use of the TheraBands, but there are some people who have only hand movement problems. So is there anything more than just the use of TheraBands?
We'll change it. That's what I said. The therapy has to be tailor made and customized. We'll be understanding your condition, because see, if you see the concept of the exercise, it is on an unbalanced surface and some weight, a resistance is being added. So if you cannot pull through a TheraBand, we can use a simple weight cuff on your wrist, or maybe some weight on your upper half. We can ask you to hold a weighted bag, and then we can do some movement. All I want is to add weight and make you contract your abdominal muscles to get your balance and walking right. So the therapy can never go by strict rules. We have to keep tailoring it as per your needs.
Just to ask this question, Dashpreet, how will you tailor it? Suppose you now, or there already, I think about 25 of them have said, yes, we want to be a part of your class. So how will you tailor it per person?
Okay.
How will you do that?
So this way we come into grouping or group therapy. What I'm going to do is, after I'm going to send your Google Forms, I'm going to ask you for your videos just to understand you better. The more you interact with me, the more clarity I will get. Please, we all have to understand we are physically far off from each other. My eyes can see only what you speak and what you show me. So you have to show me the right thing to understand you better. And if the disability status of maybe 3 or 4 of you is less, so I'll group you in one session and I'll give you therapy together. So maybe seeing each other also, you'll be motivated ki chalo karna hai. And just like good classmates, after my classes you can interact amongst each other. Tumne kitne repetitions kiye, how many repetitions did you do, ma'am is going to ask me the next day. So it's going to be a mutual uplifting thing, and I'm going to group people together. So that's why this was just a sample video. This is not the final video, because I know I have to do lots of work to customize it for each one of you. That's why I asked you for a big price, your dedication and sincerity.
What about equipment that will be necessary besides the Pilates ball, and what about other equipment that may be necessary for this rehabilitation?
Nothing
Because
else.
when you go to a physiotherapy center, there's a lot of equipment there. So,
Yes.
but when you're doing it at home as a residential project, I mean, what are the minimum things that you would want us to, or our MSPs to have at home?
As I mentioned, at home you need to have some tape markers, normal electrical tape, which is black, red or blue color that you get. A yoga mat, agar wo bhi nahi hai, aap ek dari bhi rakh sakte hain, patla sa gadda rakh sakte hain. You can use your carpet also. And if you can't buy a TheraBand or TheraTube, normal chauda wala elastic, what you get from a tailor's shop, you can use that. And for weight, you can buy dumbbells, you can buy medicine ball resistive, या 5 किलो आप दाल भी ले सकते हैं, दाल का पैकेट ले लीजिए. At home, I know the therapy goes restricted, but it is very flexible also. So I want you to understand, all my patients, the concept behind it. It is not कि आपके पास यही चीज होनी चाहिए, आपके पास सिर्फ अपना abdominal muscle होना चाहिए. Rest you leave up to me. आप अपनी problem बताओ, I'll get things sorted out for you. Okay, so that's it. Just
That's wonderful. And after we've gone through your, therapy, your so many weeks of therapy, what is it? What's your end point of saying that my therapy worked? What is your end point?
my
What do you-
endpoint will be spoken by my patients. I am no one to say my endpoint. They are the one who are going to bring about the change. They are the one, they are going to say, कि जब madam ने, she took us for the therapy, we could not walk 6 minutes properly. Now probably we are able to walk 6 minutes properly. We used to feel fatigued in our session. We are not feeling fatigued at all. We feel more energetic. I don't want to put words into anyone's mouth. You have to speak. I just know I have to work hard with you. You will tell me whether it was good or it fell just flat. Even if it falls flat, it is again encouraging for me to read more literature, get some more therapies, contact all my contacts abroad, and get the best what is possible for you all. So I won't be disappointed, don't worry, till you show me your 100% dedication. That is all I want.
That's wonderful, Dashpreet. And yeah, so our National Secretary Renuka, she says, that that the caregivers themselves have to do a lot of lifting and helping, and so maybe you could also strengthen their core muscles. I mean, I think that's so important. How to support somebody, how to lift them up, how to make our MSPs more comfortable. So maybe
This
something for caregivers too. Maybe.
Yes, this is beautiful. But at this phase, I would just say with my two small babies, and obviously we are also going through pandemic. I'm their teacher, I'm their mother, I'm everything. There are no schools. So I would say I do not want to commit on anything. Definitely caregivers are most important for us. They are our backbone. But right now I would concentrate on this phase. But I would say whatever exercise we are suggesting for your patient, you are more eligible to do those. You will enjoy more and keep pushing your patient, your loved one, come on, I can do it, you can also do it. It's all about mind power rather than your leg power or the neuron power. So push them the other way out. You continue doing that. That's not a problem. That's not but specific program as of now, I would say, let me be in my little shell.
Corona is going to go very soon,
Yeah,
so you'll
that's a
have to
sad-
get your programs ready.
yes,
Yeah,
that's true.
but Dashpreet, now I must tell you, lots and lots of people want to join up your program, but the thing is, they want to know how early are you going to start this? When are you going to start it?
March 1st week,
Wonderful,
and we are already in March.
great,
Just 12 o'clock we are there.
great, wonderful, Dashpreet. That's really nice. Uh, yeah.
I'm so happy, Darpreet, you started this. Really glad. And this will be very useful. Once this is over, I will keep on requesting you to do something more for ourselves.
There's a
And
question which I'm reading here. What are the options for surfaces in week 3 if you do not have a ball?
Yeah.
Juhi, I would say you need a ball because I feel it looks like quite an unstable surface, but if you don't full it to its complete capacity, it still provides a very good stable surface, I would say, and it helps to train your muscles much better way. All right. So I would say that's one thing. And yeah, you had another question that your vision has been impacted a lot after your these attacks. You don't have a physical issue. You're able to do regular household work. All right. So in your case, I would say any kind of physical exercise would be helpful for you. It is never bad to strengthen our muscles. Be prepared for any kind of mishaps that might come our way. And if you have a vision problem, you definitely need to have your caregiver or your therapist by your side. But trust me, there is something called neurobics where we ask the patient to close their eyes and then navigate through their house, navigate through their bathroom. So that's going to improve your cognitive ability. And if I am to quote one of these study, which was done by my professor Bruno Brochet in France, in INSERM 1049, they said the good cognitive rehabilitation helps to take care of your physical abilities in early phase of the disease quite well. So I would say, it's a very close relationship between your physical exercise and cognitive, but engaging into any exercise program is definitely useful.
Dashpreet, there's another question, in our chat box, which says that if I don't have a caregiver and I don't have a therapist, can I still join up with your class, in your class?
Yes, my only concern is you should not fall from the ball, right? That must also be your concern. If your vision is okay, I would say use the corner of your house. Because in Bihar, like we are catering to a lot of people who come from villages, we usually give them a Pilates ring or Pilates ball. But the only problem is they don't have a caregiver who will take care. So what we say, आप घर का एक कोना लीजिए, उस कोने में ball डाल दीजिए. So even if you topple right or left,
You
the
have,
wall will be your
yeah,
solid caregiver. So we have
yeah.
tricks for these things. You
Okay,
can go.
wonderful, wonderful. That's nice. Now, what about, a lot of our MSPs have got urinary problems, they have incontinence, and you're asking them to do core muscle strengthening. That is actually abdominal, muscles. So what would your advice to these patients be?
For these patients, I would say this program will be really fantastic because when I say core, I talk about abdominals and pelvic floor.
Yes.
Pelvic floor is the bottom of my shape. If it gets capsized, everything is gone. So it is fantastic. And already I have my pelvic floor video on my YouTube channel that I made way back in 2014. But yeah, now I have better versions of it. So that's what I'm saying. These exercises, see, if you would have seen carefully, it's just one exercise per day. And it might seem, ये तो बहुत easy है, सिर्फ पेट ही tight करना है. It's not about pate. It is controlling your breathing, contracting your pelvic floor muscle. I do not recommend midstream urine holding for training your pelvic floor muscle. That is not to be
No,
done.
none of us do.
It is
Correct.
not under your voluntary control. Voiding का सिर्फ sphincter के बाहर के muscles are under voluntary control. It's another mechanism, another autonomic system which is also involved. And आप लोग midstream रोक के you conflict both the systems. So if you have pelvic floor problem, welcome. These classes are for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I am not say okay, I'm sorry. There are some more question and answers, I think. Yeah, a lot of people are worried about their legs, you know. Some people can't lift a leg, they have a foot drop. So, I mean, how do they then get involved in your classes?
See, if you have a foot drop and if you're using any kind of AFO or supportive device and still you can navigate through, for 6 minutes, I'm okay with it. I am not worried about how your foot is flapping when you are walking around, right? If you've gone through my exercise, the foot is always supported in the neutral position on the ground. So that's not a problem. That's not a problem. Right now, what we are trying to concentrate is your core area that will be taken care. And for the foot drop specifically, we would need electrical stimulation. So that is totally a different aspect. The focus of these classes is balance and walking ability. Drag your foot, doesn't matter me. I want your pelvic floor and your abdominals and your diaphragm too. That's it.
That's true. And that's actually in COVID season, that's a wonderful thing because you need chest exercises. You need to have that, that diaphragm control so that things are much better if you do unfortunately get COVID infection. Dashpreet, I think that's been a wonderful session. And I thank you because you've been so precise. And what I really liked about you is your message to the therapists, and where you said, please use evidence-based technology and therapy. So that don't experiment, not now.
Not anymore. Not anymore.
Not now. And of course, Sheila, I think you brought about a wonderful session. It was Sheila who pushed us, okay? No, you must do this. And, so thank you so much. It's really been a wonderful session. And of course, I would like to thank Dr. Manasi of the Chaugale, MediConsult for the very smooth, I would say, tech support that they gave us, the handholding that they did. I think it's wonderful. Sheila, is there anything that you'd like to say?
No, I'm so overwhelmed with this program that I never thought it will be so what Dashpreet is going to say, show, because she never told us exactly what she was going to do. So I was wondering what is going to be there. It's so easy and so nice looking. And I feel that I will be able to do. I know actually in reality it is not possible, but by looking at it, I was thinking, I am also doing this. I am also doing with you, something like that. So it is really
that's what
good.
Dashpreet said, Sheila. It's the visual imagery that's so important. Because that itself will, another thing, Dashpreet, because we're in this COVID pandemic thing. Do you feel that all these exercises will actually help in boosting our immune system?
Definitely. See, happiness boosts up everything. It just boosts up everything. Like nobody knows about COVID, how its course would be. The new variants are coming. So there's no point thinking about it. It's point thinking about the things we are actually suffering from, the things which are right in front of your eyes. Just wear a mask, get yourself vaccinated, social distance. See, I'm maintaining my social distance through internet. So you be away, yet be very close to us, and let's exercise. Let's just generate positivity. There's no point anymore. We've already lost 1 year in thinking about what to do, what not. I had massively done face mask campaigns and all, but now it's a time to get onto the ground, get back to the job, what we've been educated for. And be happy. Be happy and be cheerful. Dedication and sincerity. That's the cost.
Absolutely. And that is what you really taught us today. That's what you need, precision, inspiration. That's what you've given us. And I think you motivated people. And you'll be surprised. You'll probably have everybody joining your class. So I think that'll be great. Yeah.
And we will be putting it on YouTube also. No? So people, those who have missed this session for some reason, they will be able to log in and see on YouTube. That's
And
correct.
one last message that I have for all the MS people who are associated with our society: don't stop dreaming. Don't stop thinking about MS. If you ever, please talk to Sheila Madam, because she is the one who pushed me for Dupre. I was very happy, newly married, very happy with my life.
Right,
I
correct.
would say she just changed the direction of my life. She actually brought a torpedo in my whole family. Everybody knows, oh God, now Sheila Ma'am's call is there. It'll be all about MS. So because this is invisible, we have many patients who are looking for help from us. And thankfully, we are so privileged that we can provide certain services free of cost. We can earn from other sectors also, because now everyone knows physiotherapists are the lifeline. We are the
Exactly.
lifeline. We owe it to the people. We owe it to the society. And we have to feel for those who have their loved ones. We can be a part of it also. So all the therapists, we are more than lakhs in number. We are more than lakhs. But when I interact with my MS society, I get handful. And that too, it's like sand which slips away. So please, let's join in.
I hope your all therapists join us also. We will think of reducing the membership, special membership for them, maybe.
That's great. That's great.
So
Yes.
they can become life member with us, and I can have so many number. Whoever wants in anywhere, we can send them. Then actually, these classes are going to be very helpful. See, in the cities, we already have chapters. We got so many facilities offering them. But those who are in the corners of
Periphery,
small towns, small villages, there if they can listen to you and they can join the classes, that will be wonderful. And for them, suppose some therapists are staying there, if they get into touch with us, we can always offer. We are ready to help any MS patients anywhere, whatever way we can. That's why donations are very necessary for us. So that always comes. We need money to supply all these welfare services. And we need people. We need to identify more MSPs. That is also true. And one last message I want to give, that please don't consider MS as a social stigma. It can happen to anyone, anywhere. It is not contagious. It is not considered hereditary, nor it is a mental disorder, and it is not life-threatening. So don't consider it as a social stigma. Join MS Society. We increase our visibility, it will be better for our advocacy. Thank you very much. With this message, I would like to end.
Thank you, Sheila.